The time is now 4:30. I would like to call today's meeting to order, March 26, 2024. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up on our agenda is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning applications. Is there any public comment agenda items? On agenda items? No? Going once? Twice? 3 times? Hearing none, then I'll move to the next item on our agenda, which is our commendation. And here to speak on that is our Chief of Police, Chief Book.
Thank you, Mrs. Clear. Several months ago, Patrolman Jordan Query became involved with a program titled North Star Mentoring within the Bethesda Lutheran Services Organization. Referred to the program are youths who have a history of significant life or family challenges. Bethesda reached out to me to speak about the positive impact Patrolman Query has had on his mentee, and they requested an opportunity to highlight his dedication and community involvement. In fact, they're so impressed with his work, they would like to clone Jordan if they could. Several of us are here today to present Officer Query with a citation to recognize him for his dedication to the residents of Mill Creek Township.
Excellent. Would you like me to read? Go ahead.
Do you want to read the citation then?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Shall I? Okay. You guys want to come up?
Yes.
Okay, and the commendation reads, whereas Bethesda Lutheran Services Organization offers a program called North Star Mentoring for children who have a history of significant life or family challenges, and whereas several months ago, Mill Creek Police Patrolman Jordan Query became involved as a volunteer with the program, and whereas Bethesda Lutheran Services Organization notified Chief Carter Mook of the positive impact that Patrolman Query had on his mentee, requesting that his dedication and community involvement be publicly recognized. Now, therefore, we, the supervisors of Mill Creek Township, on behalf of the Township of Mill Creek, express our sincere appreciation as we honor and recognize Patrolman Jordan Query for his outstanding community service as a youth mentor. In witness thereof, okay, and then there's the seal. Okay, I won't read that part. We would like to congratulate you, Patrolman Query. I know you are not doing this for a commendation or an award or anything, and you've come forward with so many positive ideas on how you can interact and help the community, and I hope you know how lucky we are to have you as a part of Mill Creek Township Police Department.
I appreciate the recognition.
We are very honored. Congratulations. And we will clone you if we can. We'll take 100 or so. Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Okay, next up on our agenda will be the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Mr. Olet, seconded by Mr. Bach. Any questions? Then we'll proceed to the vote. Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I also vote yes. The minutes are approved. Next up, we have approval of the bills. Do I have a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion or questions? If not, I will call for the vote. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Motion carries. Number 7 on our agenda are bids and quotations. Up first, we have the Asbury Park Tennis Court resurfacing. This is from our Park and Recs Department.
I can handle that.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Bach.
Okay, the Parks and Rec Department would like to have 2 tennis courts at Asbury Park professionally resurfaced. It has been nearly 20 years since the courts have been resurfaced, and they are in need of repairs and repainting in order to extend the life of the courts and improve playability. The scope of the project would include power washing the courts, repairing all cracks using the Right Way crack repair system, patching 3 low spots, installing 3 layers of athletic surfacing paint, and lining courts for tennis. Parks and Rec Department would like to retain AstroTurf Corporation for this project. Last year, AstroTurf installed our pickleball courts and 1 tennis court at Asbury and Zook Parks. The Parks and Rec Department was very pleased with the outcome of both projects. The cost of resurfacing the 2 tennis courts at Asbury Park is $38,204. The pricing AstroTurf has submitted is based on CoStar's supplier number 530744. This project was accounted for in the Parks and Rec capital budget. There was $50,000 allocated for this project line item, leaving a surplus of $11,796. Parks and Rec Director Ashley Marsteller is recommending the approval of the resurfacing of the Asbury Park tennis courts by AstroTurf Corp. Using the CoStar's contract.
Great. Thank you very much. Would you like to put that in the, is that a motion to approve?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
All right, a motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any questions or discussion? All right, and hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next on our agenda, we have the storm sewer lining price amendment from Public Works, and we have with us Director Rob Donikowski.
Thank you. Good evening. At the board meeting on January 9th, 2024, a quote was presented and approved for the lining of several storm sewer lines throughout the township. After cleaning and inspecting these lines, it was realized that the pipe along Hillborn Avenue is an 18 by 24 inch elliptical pipe instead of a round pipe, and the pipe along Chelsea Avenue is 36 linear feet instead of the originally quoted 33 linear feet. These changes result in a price increase of $1,634.15. The amended total price for this work is $44,403.25 under CoStar's contract 016. The remaining balance of the pipelining line of the Streets Department capital budget will be $14,646.75. I recommend amending this request.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Donikowski? Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. I'll open it up for discussion. Hearing none. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Mr. Donikowski, the core and drill bit for Public Works traffic.
The Traffic Department is seeking approval to purchase a new concrete core drill and 4-inch bit for installing signs in concrete and asphalt. 2 quotes were received. The first quote was from Admar for a total price of $3,015, and the second quote was from Ganser Equipment for a price of $3,135.50. Funds for this will be taken from the Traffic Department's contingency line, leaving a balance of $6,985. I recommend the purchase of this core drill and bit from Admar for a price of $3,015.
Great. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Olet, seconded by Mr. Bach. Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Motion carries. And finally, in bids and quotes, we have GPI H&H from our engineering department. And to speak on that is Solicitor Lydia Caparosa.
Thank you, Ms. Claire. This is a request from the engineering department to approve a professional services agreement with GPI for an H&H an engineering study of the Wilkins Run tributary areas. This is in our standard professional services contract that we utilize and for a lump sum of $58,000. And the recommendation from Rob Rodemoyer, Township Engineer, is to approve this agreement.
Great. Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I just have a quick question.
Oh,
Sorry,
sure.
Tim. So this is for the entire area, the entire Wilkins Run area map?
Yeah, it's my understanding, the watershed at least south of the airport, yes.
South, okay, and is this like to update an existing plan, or is this a new?
This would be to do a hydraulic and hydrology study of that whole area. Yeah, it would be to come up with hopefully a solution for how, at least an understanding, it would gain us an understanding of how the water flows in that area, and then a solution to how to address some of the problems that have been occurring.
Okay, and I don't see where he put anything in here about if this was a budgeted item or what the budget was for it. I know he's not here.
No, and I don't know, Mr. Bach, whether this was a budgeted or not budgeted. I think it was a planned event.
This was a budgeted item. I do not know off the top of my head what the total was.
Okay. Just questions that came to mind.
And Mr. Bach, too, I believe the original proposal was for a larger scope of work, and we did narrow this down.
I think you're right, yes.
So this is a narrowed scope.
I do recall that, okay. I will second.
Okay, a motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Number 9, I'm so sorry. I was mistaken. Number 8 on our agenda, new and amended ordinances under review. The subdivision and land development ordinance saldo amendment. To speak on this, Solicitor Lydia Caparosa.
Thank you, Mrs. Claire. As it's been on the agenda for a while, but the saldo is completed final legal review, and we're working, I believe, the engineering department and planning department to coordinate some meetings to review. And then I'll also segue into the next potential ordinance that's under review. It's an amendment to Chapter 55, Article 3 of the Township's current code for reimbursement of services and materials. Currently, Chapter 55, Article 3 provides specific authority to recover funds for volunteer fire departments. With the addition of the Township Fire Department, we are looking to consolidate that process for volunteer departments and to allow the Mill Creek Fire Department to obtain recoveries as may be allowed by law. And we're also looking into that in relation to the ambulance that was purchased last week.
Okay. Does this need to be voted on today?
No
This
action
would
at
be considered for the saldo.
Yes, no
Okay.
action at this moment on either of those. Those are just letting the
Like an
public know that
letting the public
they're
know.
coming. So,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Very nice. Will there be open public discussion for our residents so that they can take a look at the saldo? How-
With respect to the saldo, there are certain procedures under the municipality's planning code that require a public comment period, and it also has to go before the planning commission, so there will be
Okay.
several opportunities for public comment and review. The draft will eventually be available on the website for those that are interested, and then it will come to the board for a public hearing and a vote on that.
Great,
But it is, so there will be opportunities for comment.
great. Okay, good. Good to know. Thank you very much. Moving to number 9 on our agenda is ordinance 2024-3. This is an ordinance of Mill Creek Township, Erie County, Pennsylvania, to widen the public right-of-way of Old Glenwood Park Avenue. Ms. Caparosa.
Thank you. This was mentioned last week as well, but an ordinance is needed to formally recognize the widening of Old Glenwood Park Road under the second-class township code. The board approved a road dedication map on recommendation of the Planning Commission for Old Glenwood Park Avenue, the portion that the township acquired. So this ordinance simply officially designates that new portion as part of the right-of-way. And my recommendation would be to approve that.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Caparosa or anyone else in our departments? No? Okay, then I'll ask for a motion to approve ordinance 2024-3.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. The motion carries. Number 10 is Resolution 2024-R-5. This is a resolution of Mill Creek Township of Mill Creek, Erie County, Pennsylvania, instituting disaster emergency powers in accordance with 35 PACS 7501B in preparation for the April 8th, 2024 solar eclipse. To speak on this is Ms. Caparosa.
Thank you, Mrs. Clear. In advance of the solar eclipse that is scheduled for April 8th, 2024, the township, in consultation with other emergency management agencies around the county and the township's own emergency management coordinator, have evaluated the potential impact of the increase in visitors that is expected for the area, as well as the impact on emergency services and the impact that will have on the community's residents. The resolution before you authorizes the township to exercise emergency powers from 12 o'clock a.m. on April 4th, 2024 until 11:59 p.m. on April 10th, 2024. Based on the recommendation of the emergency management coordinator, it would be my recommendation to approve this resolution.
Okay, thank you very much. I think just for our residents, I will ask a few questions. What are some of the advantages of approving this, this resolution?
Certainly. Under the section, I think it's section number, under 35 PA Consolidated Section 7501, that's the emergency services and emergency management coordination statutes. So that does give the municipality the ability to waive some of the formal purchasing and, procurement requirements if there's an emergency and we need to act to acquire, supplies for whatever reason. It also, allows us to just react more nimbly on some of the emergency. I know the department, the police department and fire department are prepared for this as well, but it just allows some more flexibility.
Great. Would you like to add anything else to that, Chief Mook? No? Okay. Thank you for your coordination. I know Chief Mook has been attending the emergency, the planning meetings. He and I have been going to these planning meetings for about a year for the eclipse, so this will give them a little bit more flexibility, so that's great. All right, and any questions? Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2024-R5?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Motion carries. Number 11 on our agenda, the Stormwater Management Maintenance Agreement and Acceptance of Stormwater Management Plan. And to speak on this, I believe, is the Planning Director, Mr. Matt Waldinger. The Matt Waldinger.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Yes, this is a plan that I mentioned at the last meeting that had come in but had not made that meeting's agenda. So for today, we have this in front of us. The developer of the Dollar General located at Zimmerly Road, the developer is Westminster Development LLC. They have had their stormwater management plan reviewed for consistency with our ordinance by Greenman Peterson Incorporated. In front of you is a letter from GPI stating that it meets the substantive requirements of the stormwater management ordinance. They also have submitted their stormwater maintenance agreement. It is on the township specified form and all is according to what we require. So at this time, I would recommend that the board approve the stormwater management agreement and accept their stormwater management plan.
Any questions for Mr. Waldinger? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Okay, call for a vote. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. We are now on number 12 on our agenda, communications. Do we have any treasurer communications today?
I do not have a communication report, no.
Thank you very much, Ms. Page. Promotion request from the CRS department, and that stands for Community Relations and Sustainability for those that don't know. Ms. Stutzman.
Thank you. At this time, we are looking to promote Jim Schaefer to Millfair Compost and Recycling Center Foreman, retroactive to March 25th, 2024, at a rate of pay of $34.33 per hour. Jim has been employed with Mill Creek Township since May 2009 as a diesel mechanic. He has an associate's degree from Penn Tech, and Jim has excellent firsthand knowledge of the equipment and operations at the Millfair Compost and Recycling Center, as he worked out there 6 seasons performing equipment maintenance. And he is also eager to return to MCRC.
Great. Any questions for Ms. Stutzman? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the transfer?
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion?
Ms. Clear, I don't know if you referenced it as a transfer, but I thought it was a promotion.
Sorry, promotion. I apologize, promotion. Thank you very much. Okay, so the motion was made for promotion and seconded. Motion was made by Mr. Olet, seconded by Mr. Bach. Hearing none, then Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. Congratulations to Mr. Schaefer. We're happy to see him promoted.
Thank you.
Next, we have a hiring request in the Park and Recs Department.
Thank you, Kim. I'll take care of that. The listed employees and volunteers are requested to be approved for the spring 2024 season. These employees and volunteers are essential to carrying out the spring recreational offerings of the Parks and Rec Department. Part-time employee wages are accounted for in the Parks and Rec Department's operational budget. The wages suggested for each employee are based off the part-time wage scale previously approved by the Board of Supervisors. We have some adult recreation employees at $15 an hour, adult leisure, youth program at $15 an hour. There's 4 under the up at Asbury Barn at $11.50 an hour. We have some golf course maintenance, seasonal laborers at $17 an hour, and park maintenance, seasonal labor at $17 an hour, and then there's 2 volunteers listed. So Parks and Rec Department Director Ashley Marsteller is recommending to retain the listed employees for the spring 2024 season at the previously approved pay rates. I would like to make a motion to approve their retention for this season.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Bach has made a motion, and it was seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Okay, Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. Next on our agenda, we have the CRS department. We have 3 different positions in the CRS department. Ms. Stutzman.
Thank you. There's currently a need to fill multiple vacancies within our receptionist substitute position to help fill in at the switchboard while the current receptionist is in meetings or taking her earned sick and vacation time. It is my recommendation to hire the following 3 individuals to fill these vacancies: Diane Connorth, Marcia Herman, and Karen Whelan. The part-time wage scale established for this position is $13 per hour, and this was budgeted for in the 2024 CRS operational budget.
Great. Thank you. Sorry, you did all 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Diane, Marcia, and Karen.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't hear all. Great. Any questions for Ms. Stutzman? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Okay, a motion was made by Mr. Bach and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Okay, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Next up, we have in the administration, 1 position. And will Ms. Page be covering this?
I will take this one.
Thank you.
It is my recommendation to hire Janet Greger as the payroll accountant at a rate of $52,000 annually with a start date of April 10th, 2024. Janet comes to Mill Creek with many years of experience in payroll and accounting. She is most recently employed at Union City School District as the payroll administrative assistant. In addition to her years of experience, she also has an associate degree in accounting. This was a budgeted position, and it was included in the 2024 budget.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, and do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
A motion was made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries. Now we have training requests from the MPD. Chief Mook?
Thank you, Mrs. Clear. I have 3 requests today. The first, the Bell Valley, Pennsylvania Fraternal Order of Police Lodge is hosting an officer-involved shooting presentation tomorrow in Monaca, PA from 9 until noon. I'm recommending approval for Captain Kosensky and Corporal Caldwell to attend the course. Both officers were instrumental in the handling of the immediate aftermath of our officer-involved shooting last September. There's no cost to register. Travel will be by department vehicle. Due to the location and hours of the course, there's no overtime costs or other lodging costs to attend. The next training request concerns a mandatory 2024 clean TAC training class on June 4th from 9 until 1 at Slippery Rock University. The class is hosted by the Pennsylvania State Police and will ensure our department's compliance with current clean and NCIC regulations. I'm recommending that TAC Officer Cheryl Comstock and her supervisor, Captain Chris Hauber, attend this no-cost training. Travel will be by department vehicle. And the last request, the Erie County District Attorney's Office is hosting a 3-day training concerning the management of undercover operations, July 22nd through the 24th. The course will address methods of minimizing risks while being cognizant of the skills, tactics, and dangers associated with police narcotics enforcement. There's no cost to attend this course. I recommend that Captain Kosensky, Lieutenant Hardner, Detective Fennell, Detective Katerna, and Detective Buckner attend. The training is taking place at the Erie County 911 Center, and there are no travel costs.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions for Chief Mook? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve the training requests from the MPD. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion was made by Ms. Clear and seconded by Mr. Olet. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion carries. Okay, next on our agenda is the Acato Yearbook Dinner. Anyone speaking on that?
I can.
Okay, thank you.
The Cato Yearbook Dinner will be held Thursday, April 4th at the Colony Banquet Hall on West 12th Street. This is open to supervisors, secretaries, treasurers, solicitors, auditors, and such. The cost is $30 per person, and I'll make a motion to approve for those that would like to attend.
Okay. Any questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve the, the Acato Yearbook Dinner?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Okay. And
I'll second.
And it was seconded, okay, it was, motion was made by Mr. Olet, seconded by Mr. Bach. Mr. Olet, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bach, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes, motion carries. Next up, we have the Second Harvest Food Bank Bread Box Award. I'm not sure if Chief Mook would like to speak on this or not. I can.
I didn't realize this was on the agenda.
That's
so
okay.
If you want to take
You know
care
what,
of it,
I
go
did. I asked that it be put on the agenda because it was a pretty big deal. The Second Harvest Food Bank had their annual Bread Box Award luncheon, and the participants received a certificate of appreciation from the Second Harvest Food Bank. The top 5 participants in each category were recognized even further, and the top 2 in each category received a commemorative plate. The Mill Creek Township Police Association was awarded first place in the organization category. They consider first place winners as a grand prize. So Patrolman Cole was there to receive the, it was actually a bread box. is what was received. But it's a real honor to be recognized by Second Harvest Food Bank. But I would just like to recognize the Mill Creek Police Association for standing outside in the really, really cold weather at Wegmans and on 2 different dates in December to collect. They collected money and also food items that were then donated to the Second Harvest Food Bank. So, it was a really nice way for everyone to come together and then give back to the community. So, want to give a shout out to the MPA. While we're giving shout outs, before I announce an executive session, I do want to recognize Mill Creek Fire Department and all of our volunteer fire departments. Bell Valley, Kearsarge, West Ridge, and Westlake all responded to a fire last evening off of Colonial and West Ridge Road. It did have a complete loss of someone's home, and we are going to be reaching out to our residents to see how we might be able to help the family. It is a complete loss with an infant and parents, so there'll be more information to follow. But we do want to recognize the bravery and the persistence of the fire department, Mill Creek Fire, and all of our volunteer fire departments, as well as the MPD, who was there to assist as well, from what I understand. So thank you very much to all of those who give of themselves to help those in need. Okay, we had executive session, and executive session took place on March 14th and March 21st. On March 14th, 2024, real estate matters were discussed in relation to park and rec facilities, the official map, and easements on township properties. Litigation related to code enforcement matters and zoning hearing board appeals, as well as public safety. On March 21st, 2024, real estate matters related to park and rec facilities were discussed, as well as the official map and easements on township properties. Litigation related to permitting, dispute, code enforcement, and zoning hearing board appeals, as well as public safety concerns. All right. Any solicitor communications, Ms. Caparosa?
Nothing further from me.
Nothing further. Then that leads us to the student ambassador report. We have our student ambassador. How are you?
I'm quite all right. How are you today?
Great. How many days do you have left before you graduate?
I think about 40.
Wow.
I know it's kind of I guess you'd say like mind-boggling. It's almost unreal the fact that I'm almost done. I remember a couple years ago I'd be joking with my friends about, man, we got this many years left, and now it's like only got a couple days.
Yes.
It's really coming down. But as for my report, I have nothing to report at this time.
When is graduation?
I believe it's June 5th.
Okay, June 5th.
I believe something like that.
Very nice. And you're excited to graduate?
Yes, very.
Good, good. Well, we're excited for you, and congratulations. We'll get there, but congratulations to all the graduates of McDowell.
Thank you very much. It's a little amount.
And that leads us to number 13, citizens to be heard. Are there any citizens to be heard today? Thank you very much. You don't need to give your address, but please state your name to the record, but we will have you write your name and address after you're done.
John Marston. Nice to see you all again. It's getting to be a habit. I'm back again about code violations. I have one in particular right now. This is the hill I'm willing to die on. There is a pole next to me that has an obvious violation on the enclosure. Code officials looked at it, and what they said is that it met the code at the time of installation. That's not the requirement. The requirement is that it meets the code right now. First of all, I don't even think they really inspected it. I know when I reopened it, they didn't inspect it, because I got a reply this very same day that I sent the reopen request in. Am I wasting my time coming here? Because I have no place else to go. You give me no alternatives except to come here and bitch week after week, day after day. If that's what I have to do, I'll continue to do it. This needs to be fixed. You know, the code official has the duty and responsibility to enforce these codes. They also have the authority to interpret the code the way they see fit. This one cannot be interpreted in any other way because there's a mechanical, there's a measurement, there's an issue that is missing on this, and they refuse to do anything about fixing it. Now, I don't have a right to appeal because I'm only the complainer. How that works, I'm not sure. The complainer doesn't have a right to appeal. I didn't receive what I wanted.
Right, but you're not an involved party.
I am an involved
No,
party.
you're not.
I am
Not
the
according-
complainer.
Not according to the process.
Okay.
You're simply not.
Besides that, it's a ridiculous fee amount that you want to charge people to appeal. Even if I was the complainee, the one being complained against, I would have to pay that fee to appeal, which is utterly ridiculous. And, you know, I don't know the way that this government works. I don't understand it completely. But the way that I do understand, or what I think is going on here, is these people are all hired employees of the township. You three are the elected officials of this township, and you're put here to represent the people. And when you see a wrong, it should be righted. Or if I'm wrong, give me an explanation. I met with two of yous on another issue, and I thought the meeting went rather well. And I asked you to follow up, take one more look at it and follow up. Nobody got back to me. Nobody did anything. Nobody got back to me. Nobody wrote me a letter. Nobody did anything until I called Matt probably 6 times and left a message until Mr. Shaw sent me a letter. And he had to be a fiction writer. He's pretty good at it.
Just that you know, I was going to say, I believe the way the building code is written is the way the building code is written is that at the time that it is built is when it is inspected.
That's not true.
Ms. Clear is correct. At the time a structure is constructed, it's constructed in accordance with the building code that is in effect at that time. If the building code changes over time, and I believe now the state has adopted either the 2018.
Is this the code we're going off of?
No,
No.
that is the property maintenance code, which is different than the building code.
Correct.
The building code is
What is the property maintenance code for?
The property maintenance code is for maintenance of property in terms of exterior issues regarding siding, condemned structures potentially as a result of, roof leaks, a whole host of things related to property maintenance. In terms of construction, even during the course of the property maintenance code inspections, if it's was constructed in the 1970s, property maintenance code is not going to dictate that somebody has to bring a building up to the current building code.
Oh, I beg to differ.
I disagree with you, sir, but that's the way it is. Uniform construction.
I have read, I'll have to go back and reread because I don't know if my memory's correct right now, but I have read the other side of this. It was more complicated. This was an easy print.
But
So
yes, but this
I
is,
read it and it states that that all existing buildings must, it doesn't give you a choice. It says must meet minimum code.
and it is, the Uniform Construction Code is a wholly separate code from the International Property Maintenance Code. The Uniform Construction Code is adopted by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that is administered by BIU as our third-party administrator for the township. When buildings are constructed, they are constructed in accordance with the then existing building code.
And they don't have to come up to code as
Do
well.
not, they do have to come up to code to the extent that they make alterations to the structure. So if you're adding on an addition, that addition has to be built to code.
Where-
But that does not, if you make no changes from the time that your house is constructed, you are under the code at the time it was
Okay,
constructed.
I was built in 1963. I don't need fire extinguishers, I guess. But
Yeah, I'll give you another example. There's an old school that was built, and it remained a school for 60 years here in Mill Creek. And even though it changed owners, it never changed its use. Now that it's changing its use, and they're doing something structural to it, now it needs an elevator. But any building that doesn't change its use doesn't need an elevator if it was built before elevators were required by ADA. So it would be that same thing. If we went and applied, oh, we just changed everything, that means every building that was ever built prior to ADA compliance would now have to go back and have to put in an elevator. So those are the kinds
And
of,
where are you getting the information that you're applying to this, in this case, this pool enclosure? Where's that information coming from? I know it when it was
It's in the Uniform
constructed.
Construction Code.
Pardon me?
It's in the Uniform Construction Code as well as the
It
Pennsylvania.
has dates in there that,
Yes.
Okay.
The Uniform Construction Code, I believe, was adopted in 2004,
okay.
thereabouts. So anything constructed before 2004 is not, it's to the whatever code it was built to before 2004. Anything after 2004 is built in accordance with the code in existence and adopted at the time of construction.
Okay, I'll go back and do more homework. I hope you're right. No, I actually hope
And-
you're wrong, but that's okay.
and Mr. Marska, I see where you're coming from. I want you to know,
Yeah.
you know, I do understand where you're coming from completely. You know, to think that, well, just because it was built before this doesn't mean they shouldn't have to comply. It's a danger for, you know, so-and-so or for whatever. I want you to know that I do
Okay,
understand.
but part of this problem is there's no communications here. You know, I'm not a stubborn person, and I know I've been in business for years. The customer is not always right, and they need to be told when they're wrong. But you need to be ready to explain why they're wrong. You can't just say you're wrong. And that's what I've been told. I'm wrong. Now, I'll go back and I'll reread this, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, okay? Because I didn't do enough homework. But I'm gonna go back on my other issue where I've got a wooded sloped area, and Mr. Shaw threw in, okay, there's also a storm sewer or a storm water concern just to top it off, so it all looked better when he gave me the last refusal. You know, they're still gonna do something about some of this stuff. When a code official makes their own interpretation, they ought to have to defend that interpretation. When they get out of code, they ought to defend it. And in some place in here, there ought to be a disclaimer that this doesn't apply.
Prior to, yeah,
But it doesn't say that.
yeah.
So I thought I had you. I'll find another way to get you.
Okay. Thank you for continuing to advocate, Mr.
And
Marska.
another thing too, that, I don't know how serious you take the citizens' concern, because most of the time, the few times I've been here, you know, people are coming up and they're making little complaints and whatnot. But I feel that this part of your meeting here is the most important part of this meeting. Because everything you've done before this, it was all scripted. You already knew what you were going to do. There was no surprises. But when the citizens come up here to speak and complain about something, I think they ought to be listened to. And I should not have to file an appeal to get an explanation. But that's what I've had to do. I've been out here in the lobby, I don't know, 6 times, trying to talk to somebody upstairs. No, they meet me in the lobby. I'm not allowed upstairs. I don't understand it. You gotta treat people with more respect. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens to be heard?
I'm afraid I got my papers mixed up here. Took your slip.
I could make you a copy if you really want one. I don't know who this person is.
I liked your pink hat the other day.
You liked what?
Your pink hat.
Thank you very much.
Was it OSHA approved?
Yeah, OSHA approved, yes. Well, I was going to get myself a pink hat and a pink hard hat, but a friend of mine actually bought her and I each one. Her husband did,
So the township didn't have to pay for it?
No, the township did not pay for my pink hard hat, yes. And I love pink. Pink makes me happy. And it has power. Pink is power,
Dennis McAndrew?
right? Thanks, Dennis.
Be a dog with a bone, I guess, but now that spring's coming, and with
more e-bikes being sold. I hope the township's going to more aggressively remind people they are vehicles, not to be ridden on sidewalks, not to be ridden down the wrong way, not to be wove through traffic on Peach Street continuously. And if people are, they should be cited for it, or at least ticketed before someone gets killed. And I don't want to hear, whoa, we didn't see this coming. Because it's going to happen, and it almost happened this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Maybe we can get something out on our social medias and our website to educate people on e-bikes, because they are becoming more popular.
Yes, they are, and they are dangerous.
Although I kind of want one. Okay, any other citizens to be heard? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion made by Mr. Olet and seconded by Mr. Bach. Yay or nay to vote? Yay. Okay, I was going to have us all do it at the same time. Mr. Olet, how do you vote? Yes. And Mr. Bach?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Meeting adjourned at 5:16 p.m. Have a great night.